every time you get inside, I lose control.
See, I ain't ever been betrayed by an enemy. That shit is only ever come from them saying friend to me. They so thought you was coming, but you been hiding behind all them friends. You just wanna play
Here, make
so many times I played the fool and man held below. I'm too fly to be sitting here lonely, feeling for the ride, wanna put it on me.
Pittsburgh.
When you get inside and when I grind it, I can't deny it, feels so exciting, deep
Is no
restart.
result.
All right. Is everyone here? Ants.
Yes, sir!
Roaches.
Yeah, what of it?
Rodents.
Let's get this cheese!
All right. Come on, everyone. Settle down, please. Look, we all know why we're here. We'll be eating like queens when we're through with this. That pantry's finally ours. Nobody can stop us now. Charge! No, there's no way. It can't be. It's Old Colony! Old Colony Pest Control. Veteran-owned Massachusetts, Rhode Island-based operation with everything you could dream of for your pest needs. Equipped with top-of-the-line gear to guarantee your home is protected and staying healthy. Phone number is 774-400-5993. Give them a call for the backup you need. Tell them that General Red Revere sent you. They handle anything from ants, roaches, ticks, mosquitoes, rats, and more.
No wildlife or termites at this time.
Hey, watch it, buddy. We're marching.
A better job, a better home, a better life. Who hasn't wished for these things, worked for them, and sought a place where they had a better chance of becoming real? For generations, Brockton has welcomed those seeking something better. From those who came in search of opportunity to today's multicultural population that makes us the most diverse community in all of New England. Brockton is a place where homes are more affordable, communities closer, where a strong and talented workforce fuels the success of businesses big and small, and the vision of a more diverse and equitable America is being realized every day. It's where ideas take root, businesses grow, communities thrive, new beginnings unfold, and the promise of a better life is kept. Brockton, Massachusetts, where better begins.
Time to grow up. You got a problem with your self-esteem and ego. Oh, here we go again. It's time to grow up now.
Coming up as a youngin', accustomed to dysfunction, life similar to the girl interrupted. To an adult, trying to make something from nothing, get it to live. Always the topic.
Every time I see a bad chick, I lick my lips, lick my lips. Every time she move them hips, I lick my lips, lick my lips. Every time I see her with Kylie Jenner lip gloss,
yeah, I'ma run it up. Why the fuck you think you flexing with $100?
Hi, this is Andrea LeClaire, and you're listening to Hoobazoo Radio at hoobazoo.com.
Story of my life, I trusted someone who lied. I lost track of time, I lost track of my instincts.
It's caught in the crossfire.
So as far as closets go, his is really nice.
Oh.
It is. Condoms. Let's see them.
Excuse me?
Let me see the condom you plan on putting on my quarterback's weenie. Sorry. Oh my God. Yes. Holy sh!
Just put a baby in me, please.
Oh, I don't know
I'm
about
in
that.
love with you.
Oh, good.
We could have a really great life together.
Zip it, psycho! Find another famous person's life to ruin. Get out! Get out of my house! Jesus. World's a dangerous place, Moran. Yeah, until you learn how to live in it. Fine.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is the booth.
All right, it's your boy broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth, and holy Christ, where did I go all of a sudden? Oh, you know what it is? Hold on. Hold on, people. So what happened is I did the show last Friday night. Let me get in here. Boom. And it was a solo show. I did the show, and I'm going to mention it. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. I wasn't on camera here for a second. Big thanks to my guest from last week. Last Tuesday, I had Penn State Brandywine soccer player Lukas Garthwait was on the show. Thank you for coming on. And then last Friday night, I had a special episode of The Booth, and I was joined by Lake Erie offensive lineman Dennis Collin. Now, for those who don't know that name or who he is, you definitely know who he is, because back when we had Vine, this was the Popeye's meme kid. This kid was all over the place since he was 8 years old. He's now a freshman in college. He's one of the top offensive linemen in the nation right now. He took home a state title. He's going to be training. He was a real humble kid. And now he's secured. I can't say secured the bag because that's Wingstop's. That's actually Wingstop's trademark. So I can't even mention it, but he actually secured an NIL deal with Popeyes. Support our youth, people. He secured a deal with Popeyes. He's only in his freshman year of college, and I've already invited him to come back on the booth to discuss the Super Bowl. We broke down the NFL and the playoffs, and we killed it. We had a great time on the show, and I was real happy. And I've got my guests on with me tonight, as you can see up in the upper left-hand corner, my man David John Kendrick. He's also known as MusicMan here in the Boston area. And there's some things that I'm going to get into and talk with him about, but let me get into my sponsors. As you guys see down here in my topics window, Michael Douglas, Barretto, MDB Electronics. If you need your controller fixed or repaired or tuned up, I actually got my Halo controller that's got to go out because it's starting to drift. The right button's not working well. So I got to send it out to him. He actually repaired this controller before. It's got a hologram ticket on the inside. So when it goes to him, guess what, people? Lifetime warranty available. He fixes it for nothing and ships it back to me. Available now. Viana Marie, It's Personal. Album is everywhere. As you guys saw at the top of the show, there's a promo for 3/18/23. Viana Marie is going to be at the Back to Basics industry event at the Jungle in Somerville. She will be performing live at the Trendsetters event. It's coming up again, March 18th. That promo will be playing before this show every week up until that event. So I'll keep reminding you. Tactical Target Systems. When I go to the range, everybody knows I have this humongous fear of zombie apocalypse. Even though I watch stuff like The Last of Us and all these other zombie shows, I have a humongous fear. So I keep my skills on point. I have to have my headshots on point. I have to be able to shoot anything, wherever, whenever, because I don't, you know what I said? You know, I want to be like Rick Grimes, you know, last the whole season, even though, you know, I love BostonSports.com. Also, sometimes you'll see me from time to time wearing baseball caps or shirts. They come directly from ilovebostonsports.com. And every now and then I'll get a free t-shirt from them and give it away to somebody in the chat. So make sure you're in the chat and you're listening and watching and drop some stuff in the chat because you may win a shirt. And before we get into the news booth, I'm going to get into my interview with my man, David John Kendrick. I'm actually going to have a video that he will introduce. The video that I got that he's going to introduce for us is going to be set free. But right now, David John Kendrick, welcome to the booth.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? So you were actually just on prior to this show. You actually are getting ready to drop a brand new single, but I hit you up right away because I was like, damn, you got a video for this? Because I'd love to break this song on my show. But you was like just releasing this. So tell people, let's get in real quick about this new single that you got dropping.
So the new single, I actually just dropped the actual track on YouTube. It's called Greater Me, which will be featured on my album I'm dropping March 15th of this year called The Comeback. Mm-hmm. And I'm dropping another track tomorrow night called Lost Life. So those two songs kind of cohere with the album. Mm-hmm. So, and I've been working on the song for probably about a month, writing it, and I literally just recorded it beginning of this year. And it's like one of my favorite songs.
Nice. Now, I got to ask you a question. You got this new album come out, this new project. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you, is the album done yet? Or are you still working on it?
I am still working on a little tweaks. I still haven't gotten the cover art 100% down. I do want to find a sponsor, though, for the mixtape. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That way I can like have it set out in stores and stuff. Unlike my last one, I had printed 120 CDs thanks to 508 USA. They helped me print out over 120 CDs, and I sold every single one, and everybody loved it. Everybody wants more. They asked me if I still have CDs to this day. I'm like, those were that was it.
Nice. So here's what I'm going to do. When I bring people on, I like to do different things in the interviews and stuff. Is it okay if I challenge you for this new mixtape that's coming out? I want to challenge you to put something together. And I'm going to tell people this story because it's something that's dear to me and David. So I would like maybe just an interlude or something from the heart that would be a dedication or something in tribute because they just released the trailer for Legend of the White Dragon. Something for Jason David Frank because I missed him when I wanted to go to work, when I had to work, and he was down the street from GameStop. You was one of the few fans of Jason David Frank. For those who don't know who Jason David Frank is, he was the Green Ranger. He was the White Ranger. Jason David Frank, he did a little bit of MMA. Yeah, when you talk Power Rangers, he is the man. He is the guy that put Tommy on. He put the Red Ranger on the back burner because he thought he was going to be all that in a bag of chips. And Jason David Frank came. He brought real martial arts to it. They linked them right up with Kimberly. It was the way Jason David Frank took over that whole franchise and continued with that franchise was amazing. The sad part is the fact that we have this issue with mental health and people who struggle with mental health. And for those who didn't know, Jason David Frank, after being delivered papers, what happened was a lawyer had delivered papers for his divorce at a Comic-Con. And that right there led him down the horrible path of taking his own life and committing suicide, which is just horrendous, just horrendous. And, we could spend hours bashing his ex-wife as to why she did that, knowing, how much he meant to the comic world. We could have a whole show on that, but I'd love to challenge you, Mr. Music Man, and maybe get an interlude where we can talk a little bit of mental health and Jason David Frank on this mixtape. Is the challenge accepted?
That would definitely be a cool challenge. And I accept the challenge. I've dealt with mental health myself. I know what it's like. And me being one of his fans and being able to actually meet him and having him sign my personal album and him, being the person he was so cool. Like when I got to meet him, it was like you weren't meeting a celebrity, you were meeting a normal human being. Like he has issues like everybody else. He's not just a known celebrity. So I can definitely relate to the mental health, and I can definitely relate to that for sure. And I definitely would take that challenge on and deliver for sure.
Thank you. Because you know what? Sometimes the most powerful words is when they come from the heart. And to know that he had that connection with you, like I said, I seen it. I was all envious of you when you was posting the pictures of you and him, and I'm like, man, I wanted to drive Vengeance over to him and have him stand in front of Vengeance and take that picture with Vengeance. I'm like, the Green Ranger in front of my slingshot, my green slingshot, that would have been. And of course, I had to adult. I had to be at work, and I couldn't leave, and adulting was priority, unfortunately for me. But so I'm great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's going to come from the heart. I'm pretty sure this is going to come from the heart.
I'll definitely get that done for sure.
Cool. So let's talk about this project itself. Let people know about this project altogether.
So the project altogether is called The Comeback from Rehab. Rehab was like a mental health, like coming from like a dark place to like bringing onto the light and like, transferring over like a new transcendent life. And the comeback is pretty much a new Music Man, a new me. So it's a new start. And with the new song that I dropped, Greater Me, it's going to be the second track of the album. And it coincides with who I am as a person. All the lyrics I've put into the majority of my songs are based on human like interactions I've had in my life. So they're not just lyrics; they're actually part of who I am.
Nice, good stuff. And you want to kind of, because you got this other thing too that we're into. You like a lot of old cars, and you actually just secured a nice one. You let people talk to people about that. What you just let them know what you just gave up and what you just secured.
I actually sold. I had a 1977 Ford Thunderbird. With 96,000 miles on it. It was a one-owner car. The vehicle itself was purchased at a show.
Oh, he's back. Woo. Scared me. You got to unmute yourself.
Is that good?
Yep, you're back.
I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything.
Yep. So you it stopped when you were saying that you purchased a 77. You owned a 77 Thunderbird, and you're about to tell people what you got rid of it for.
So yeah, I bought the 77 Thunderbird and I sold it to a friend of mine, and I had just purchased a 1970 Pontiac Bonneville convertible, and it's one of the rarest models to this day. They only made 3,300 ever, and I believe there's like 170 left in existence to this day.
Wow, good. That's a good find. That's a good find. That's really good stuff.
Yeah,
and
I bought the vehicle. Yeah, I bought the vehicle. It doesn't have a motor or transmission currently in it. I plan on throwing a 455 tri-power Pontiac motor, which has 3 2-barrel intakes and a 700 R4 turbo overdrive transmission.
Damn.
With a catback exhaust system.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. That's the plan. That sounds lovely. Oh my God. So again, this guy's got many hats. As I said, not only is he a performer, but he loves his older cars. We're both nerds at heart. And I actually wore this throwback Atari beanie.
The Atari.
For him, the old throwback Atari 2600. And we was big balling back in the day because my grandmother, rest her soul, my grandmother was the one who got us an Atari for our house. We lived in the projects. My dad worked 2 jobs, but my grandmother always came through on Christmas because my grandmother used to have these thick-ass Sears catalogs that used to come to the house. And she would always give us those catalogs when we would eat over for Thanksgiving. And that'd be the big thing. We'd be so happy to go over for Thanksgiving because we knew that Nana was giving us the Sears catalog to look through, and the Atari came out, and it was in that Sears catalog. And my grandmother actually purchased it for us that first time for Christmas, and then when the second one came out, my dad bought it for us. But till this day, you know what? This was the start. Actually, Atari wasn't the start because Commodore 64, and I had a TRS. And I'm really going to date myself here. I had a Radio Shack TRS 80, and I used to write stuff in MS-DOS back in the day, my own games and stuff.
Talk about a throwback. He's a Radio Shack. That's a throwback.
The TRS 80. That was really the first gaming, and then the Pong came out, and then Atari came out. So sometimes those 2 gaming systems really don't get the respect they deserve. Atari always gets it as being number 1, and I'll take that. I'm not going to argue or debate that. Atari was the key to starting this whole thing with gaming in the home. This was, and then it went on to television, Net Geo Flick 16, Sega Genesis. And as we were talking off air, I had a Sega Dreamcast, and Sega Dreamcast was the first to start online play. And when Sega went belly up and sold off those rights to online play, Microsoft swooped right in and bought the rights to the online play for Sega. And then Bill Gates decided, I want to get into this gaming industry after acquiring the online. And that's when he decided to make the Xbox. Xbox was a big hit. And then they decided to bring that Xbox Live in. And I was able to be a beta tester for Xbox Live and test it for almost a year. They sent stuff to the house and he tested it for a year. And who knew that, today, where it is today, online gaming. And you know what? It was one of the nails in the coffin of Sony dominating the video game wars. Sony was killing everybody, and Xbox was a virtual, pretty unknown. People was laughing. There's actually a great documentary about this whole thing with Microsoft and Xbox and how they hired all the rebellious people in the gaming community, in the gaming industry. These were all rejects and people that nobody wanted. And Microsoft brought these guys in, put them up in an apartment out in Seattle, Washington, and said, hey, here you go. I want the most extreme, craziest thing that you can come up with for a gaming system. And it's very interesting to watch how it came down to development and how the first showing of it flopped and how they got The Rock involved at the right time, because The Rock was just, it's very interesting. So, you're here and you've actually got an event that you've been putting on. Also, you're doing some events in Attleboro, correct? That's coming up?
Correct. We do have, I have an event with 5-Way USA.
Okay.
It's going to be our first open mic of the year.
And he's kind of your partner. So if you can, mention him also while you're mentioning this event, your partner in this 508.
Yeah, definitely. So shout out to Brian Katie Welch. He's the president of 508 USA. If you guys want to get more info, 508usa.com. Submit some music, local music artists. We share music, we listen to it. He does photography videos. We also do monthly events. We try to put on open mics at the Churchwood Art Gallery in North Attleboro.
Nice spot.
And we do it from 7:30 to 9:30. Usually it's every last Thursday, but we are doing it this Friday and the last, of this month, because I was in the hospital recently, and we pushed it back a day just in case if I wasn't going to be out in time. But thank the Lord I'm out.
Nice. And you actually had a pretty serious health problem. You actually went on Facebook Live and you talked about how you've had this nerve. You were very open. You told people about how you had this nerve damage to your leg, and then you suffered this fall, and then this fall turned into these back issues, and now you're battling these back issues on top of the healing leg. And I commend you because you're still out here, you're still grinding, you're still doing the music, but you've got some serious health problems that you've got to take care of, and your back is nothing to play with. Is that something you want to talk about? I mean, you did share it on Facebook Live, so you want to talk about these issues with the back that's going on?
So yeah, I have nerve damage in my left leg, and the feeling comes and goes. And I think it was the 6th. Yep, January 6th. I was waking up. I was getting ready to leave the house, and my left leg just completely gave out on me. And I fell forward. I tried to stop myself from falling. I arched backwards while going forward, and I hit the couch. And I blew out my back. I blew out 2 discs, 2 blown herniated discs, and 1 lower disc actually broke in 3 places.
Oh, so what's the prognosis on that?
Ended up in the hospital for 6 days.
6 days. So what's the prognosis with that? Are they talking about fusion? What are they talking about? That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of stuff going on there.
So when I was in the hospital, they did 2 different CAT scans to determine the best option. Then they also did a lumbar puncture and removed spinal fluid in my lower lumbar spine. And then they did a nerve test in my back and put 19 different needles in my back with me awake the entire time. It was literally the worst pain of my life. The worst. I'm screaming. I'm like, get these for me. It was like the worst. And the doctors told me that they want to send me to Boston to do more imaging at Mass General Hospital.
Right.
So my insurance company is trying to approve the clearance because they want to stick to in-state testing. And I'm like, listen, my doctor's telling me to go to Boston. So we're fighting for that currently. I'm able to walk around. I'm able to do my daily tasks again. After about 15 to 20 minutes of being on my feet, it kind of hurts, but I'm still pushing. I tell people the grind doesn't stop for nobody. I know I need to take it easy, but with me having ADHD, I'm always on the go. I got to figure out a way, some way, somehow.
Oh, man.
Me.
So before we get into my regular topics for the night, because he's going to actually stay on with me for tonight, we're going to actually take a quick break. But during this break, we're going to be showing one of your videos, and I'm going to let you introduce it. And then we're going to take our break, and we'll be back with more MusicMan hanging out with Sinister One on the booth. But I'm going to let you introduce your video, Set Free. And kind of give us a background on it before you introduce it.
So this song is it's a love song based up on wanting to let a girl free. You know, sometimes you love it so much you just got to set it free. And including your emotions and just letting it all go. So without further ado, thanks to Sinister One for showing this video. I hope you guys enjoy Set Free by yours truly.
All right, everybody, here we go.
Next stop, Miami. Rhode Island, 508 USA on the moon, baby. MusicMan on the track.
Girl, don't run away.
Don't run.
The truth will set you free. Grab my hand and you will see. Girl, don't be shy. Just look me in the eyes. Let me stand right by your side. Girl, don't run away.
Don't run.
The truth will set you free. Grab my hand and you will see. Girl, don't be shy. Just look me in the eyes. Let me stand right by your side. Let me stand by your side, by your side, by your side. No need to be shy. This love so deep, girl, it's just you and me. My heart feels whole, girl, you took my soul. So when everything falls, just call my name. I'll be by your side, I'll take all your pain. Girl, don't run away.
Don't run.
The truth will set you free. Grab my hand and you will see. Girl, don't be shy. Just look me in the eyes. Let me stand right by your side. Girl, don't run away.
Don't run.
The truth will set you free. Grab my hand and you will see. Girl, don't be shy. Just look me in the eyes. Let me stand right by your side.
Let me stand right by your side. Let me stand right by your side.
All right, we're back here in the booth. It's your boy Sinister One. That was Set Free by MusicMan. And that was actually the video of you went to perform that was coast to coast. Let people know a little bit about that before we get into these topics.
So Coast to Coast Live is the biggest artist showcase in the world. It gives artists the chance to promote their music and compete in Miami for $50,000. But it's also a great way to like communicate with other artists, promoters, you know, and it's just a great opportunity, great, you know, way to, you know, promote yourself. And I actually am a 2-time winner with Coast to Coast Live.
Nice. And before we get into my regular topics, let people know how they can follow you on social media and stuff.
So you guys can follow me at my Facebook, David John Kendrick, where all my daily stuff is posted. You can also follow MusicMan on Facebook. I am starting up a new Instagram for MusicMan RI. That will be up in February. My current one is MusicMan _ aka _ Final D. And if you guys would like to purchase some merchandise, I have merchandise. You can go to musicmanrimerch.com. And if you use the promo code 401RI, you get free shipping across the whole country.
Nice. Good stuff. So make sure everybody to follow him, show your support. And once again, when is that album dropping?
I'm dropping it March 15th.
March 15th. So you want to make sure to check this mixtape out. And don't forget, people, there's a challenge put out there. So he'll let me know when he's ready to put that out. And we're going to get into the news booth. In the news booth, if you guys know me, I'm a Lego guy. My stepson's a Lego guy. My kids were Lego people. We went to the Lego actually convention that came here in Boston so we could meet some people from the Lego TV show that we're fans of. But Lego America, the overall company that was located in Connecticut, has just announced today that Lego American will be moving their operations to the city of Boston in 2026. This is huge because we already have a Lego park here in Massachusetts that does pretty well, but the fact that they're coming here and moving their operations to Boston is awesome. 2026. I can't wait. I'm ecstatic to see what type of things that they're going to do here in the Boston area. Are you a fan of Legos at all, Dave?
When I was younger, I used to build Legos, and I remember they used to just come like in the box growing up, and there would be like 80 pieces or so, and then you had the big cubes, and then Lego just exploded.
Yeah,
it's like now you're seeing people making like the Millennium Falcon and all this crazy stuff with Legos, and I'm like, it's astounding from where it went to what it is now. It's amazing.
And people forget that Legos was actually the start of Minecraft. That idea of Minecraft came from Legos. It's a virtual version of Legos, and Minecraft shows you how strong Legos have been since they've been, introduced to the world. Who knew that, plastic blocks in different colors would become this crazy thing. Legos have outlasted everything out there as far as when it comes to, building blocks. Into my second story in the news booth, the Monterey Park shooting death toll rises to 11. The shooter, Huu Can Tran, 72 years old, over the weekend. The SWAT team was able to block his vehicle in. He actually shot himself. We still have no reasons as to why he did this, but then just days later, another Asian man, Chunli Zhou, he was a disgruntled worker at the Half Moon Bay Magic Mushroom Company. He showed up to work disgruntled about whatever. We don't know what the issue was yet. He's in custody, but he killed 7 people at his job. It's a magic mushroom business. I guess they make magic mushrooms in California because in California, magic mushrooms are illegal out there. So, I mean, they're legal out there. So, it's pretty kind of pretty crazy to have back-to-back mass shootings. And this one here, this is another one that pisses me off. a Swedish hacker, found an Ohio airline, CommuteAir, their FBI TSA No Fly List on an unsecured server. Now, this hacker could have taken this list and probably sold this list to the highest bidder almost. But instead, he turned it over to the FBI. And here's the thing that pisses me off, people. CommuteAir is the one who left this information on an unsecured server. This goes all the way back to when I was pissed off and why I don't have a Sony PlayStation in my house. One of the reasons why I don't have a Sony PlayStation in my house is because I was real upset when they allowed themselves to get hacked and everybody's information on Sony was taken. And then Sony turned around and gave us a couple of free games. Why? Because our online service was unprotected. We didn't pay for it. So why should we have a secured server? And that was the ignorance of Sony. That's what pissed me off the most about Sony in this situation. They were so ignorant to the fact that, well, you can't sue us because our online service is a free service. Well, at that time, it was $39 a year for Microsoft's Xbox service, Xbox Live, which was protected. And, you know, this wasn't happening with Xbox. They weren't getting hacked because it was a protected service. Your thoughts on this about a business in this day and age, leaving people's personal information or an FBI no-fly list on an unsecured server? This is crazy, man.
I mean, just hearing it sounds unbelievable, especially the fact that, you know, a hacker, you know, getting that kind of information and then, like, that could be deadly, you know, who knows who this dude is mentally, and, you know, having that kind of information can ruin somebody's personal life. And then with the whole Sony and, you know, I'm not big on Sony, and that's why I'm more of an Xbox person myself. I'm just like,
right.
Another reason why I'm an Xbox and not Sony, they're getting hacked on their servers and they're allowing it. And then they're like, here's a couple of games, don't worry about it. I would have been like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah, and it happened twice. It happened to them twice. It didn't only happen once. It happened to them twice. And I got rid of my Sony stuff after the first time because I felt we were so disrespected. A lot of people stayed with them. And then when it happened the second time, they found that the information wasn't encrypted. And I was like, so they're still not caring about the consumers who support and buy their products. So it's crazy stuff. But again, people, if you didn't hear this story, Ohio CommuteAir has left their no-fly list on an unsecured server. This is vital ass information. And you know what? This is going to be a lawsuit. This is going to be a huge lawsuit.
Security numbers, all that.
Yeah, CommuteAir has to answer for it. And this is coming off of last week's show when I talked about T-Mobile allowing a hacker to get in and get 37 million people's information last week. So it's crazy stuff. Also, this week in the news booth, a 600.
I got T-Mobile, man. I don't want to hear this.
And also in the news.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, you'll be if you're a T-Mobile person, you'll be getting notified, and they've got to also monitor your credit for 7 years by law. So you'll be protected on that. Also in the news booth, a 600-mile. Oh, I almost got that wrong. 600 square mile iceberg, which is like the size of 2 New York cities, broke off from the Antarctica ice flow, the ice shelf they call it. Oh, hopefully I get him back here in a second. Broke off from the ice shelf. A lot of people are probably going to be sharing this story on Facebook and stuff and say that it has to do with climate change. I just want to let everybody know that it does not have anything to do with climate change. This ice piece breaking off of the ice shelf is normal evolution of the ice shelf. This is what the scientists are saying. The scientists are saying that this 600 square mile piece breaking off is normal evolution of the ice shelf in the Antarctica. It's not connected to climate issues. So that's good to know. But when people start sharing it and saying this is all about the climate, you can tell them that you heard on the booth. That's not true. And here, you can tell them this one.
Sit down.
Tell them to sit down.
I don't know. I mean, this is the second time I came off the air. I didn't even touch my phone.
You're fine. We got about a half hour left. We'll make it through it. Also in the legal booth, man, oh man, here we go again. 27-year-old teacher charged with a relationship with a 16-year-old student. Now, I'm always torn on these stories with these teachers sleeping with 16 and 15-year-old boys, and I'm going to get a picture up here of Lena. Her name is Lena. Her maiden name was Lena Alsalt, and she was having her married name. She's married. Is Lena Stewart. Let me get your picture up here. This is Lena Alsalt, who is the agricultural teacher and woodshop teacher. She is the agricultural woodshop teacher. Whoa. She was having a relationship with a 16-year-old boy. He was worried about his grade. He was worried that if he stopped the relationship with her, that she would have gave him a bad grade. Now, we have, on the booth here, we did have a satire TSA for this. And our theory is if you're a young kid, a young man, 16 years old, and you have a hot teacher who's going to do all these things for you, do the lay, get the A. Don't tell your friends. Don't tell your dad. Don't tell your mom. If she wants those erasers, clap those erasers after class. If she wants them desks wiped down after class, you go and you wipe them desks down after class and do the lay, get the A.
I mean, she's either dumb enough to let that happen, or she just extremely desperate because something not happening at home.
The problem is that this is so. I mean, we've had movies about this. Back in the day, The Graduate, which was made like in the 60s, was based on this whole thing. This has been, and I only joke about it. Trust me, if it ever happened to my kid, I would struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie, I would struggle with the issue.
No.
But this whole teacher and student thing with young boys has always been written off in our society as a kind of a rite of passage type thing. You know, a lot of people are two-faced in the situation. Now, if the roles were reversed, and if this was a man, you know, a 27-year-old man having sex with a 16-year-old girl in high school, oh man, we want him. He's going to jail. He's going to be on the sex offender list. You know, we want people outside with pitchforks and you know, knives and torches.
And whatnot.
You know, so that's yeah. So you know, we've seen. There's been movies. You know, you had when I was younger, growing up, I remember there was a My French Tutor was one of the big sex movies back then, where the kid, you know, his parents were moving to France and he had to get tutored French, and they got him this hot French tutor teacher, and he ended up starting to have sex with her. And, you know, I remember sneaking in to see that movie, you know, and it's it's always been that rite of passage, man, that the hot teacher with the young kid, it's been this crazy rite of passage. So, again, 27-year-old teacher charged with relationship, 16-year-old. And hold on, everybody. We've got a special breaking news story. Here it is on the booth. Satire news, breaking story. Here we go. Oh, come on, baby. Let me see it.
Breaking news out of Tennessee. The La Vergne Police Department reminds everyone that the emergency number for the station is still 911. Once again, that number is 911 or 9 eggplant eggplant.
And if you guys haven't heard the Laverne PD, their number is now 91. It's still 911 or 9 eggplant. So the booth, Satire.
Oh my God.
The booth.
That's wrong in so many ways. Oh my God.
It was breaking news. It was breaking news. And for guys who don't know what the Laverne Police Department story is, Google it. You'll have a laugh. Let's get into the entertainment booth. But again, Laverne Police Department, breaking news. 9 eggplant.
Also known as the 911.
So, MusicMan, I got to get you in here. In the entertainment booth, there's only one story that I really want to touch base on because this is huge. Back in the day, everything was about your masters as an artist. Everything was about your creations. And, you know, everything was about holding on to the rights of your music for as long as you could hold on to them. And Michael Jackson was one of the first. You know, he started getting catalogs of people's libraries because people didn't have the money to renew the copyrights, and Michael Jackson was going in and buying up some of these people's copyrights. He actually ended up with the Beatles because the Beatles didn't want to pay for their copyright. Michael Jackson swooped in with millions of dollars and purchased those rights, and now after he passed away, I think Paul McCartney now has the rights back. But it was always something that was revered. It was something that people retained. It was something that people held on to till they died and passed along to their family. But all of a sudden, you have these companies like Hypnosis. You've got, I forget what the other company is that just bought Lenny Kravitz, but you have all these companies now, marketing companies, who are, you know, they're buying the rights to people's music, their masters, for marketing purposes. So today, breaking news, and this is real breaking news, Justin Bieber just sold his entire catalog of music. Now let's remember here, a lot of people saying Justin Bieber's young, blah, 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 blah. He is young. But guess what, people? His library goes back to when he was 15 years old. So he just sold his entire library of music for $200 million. It is the biggest publishing rights sale in the history of Hypnosis. For you, you create your music means a lot to you. What are your thoughts on a lot of these artists today? Motley Crue just did it. Metallica did it. Zeppelin did it. All these artists today, I used to say, why don't they keep them for their families or their kids? A lot of these people are now saying, you know what, it's not worth keeping. It's not worth having my family fight over my library after I pass away. Even though there's a will, they're selling their rights. They're getting all that money up front. Justin Bieber, $200 million. And I don't even think Justin Bieber's 35. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's kind of like unreal that somebody would want to do something like that. I mean, your craftsmanship, your lyrics, and all that hard work and dedication just to be sold. I mean, I don't think I would ever sell my lyrics or any of my songs for that kind of money whatsoever. You know, any kind of copyright that I would own, you know, to all my songs, because that's a part of me, and that's history being made. And I would want that to be passed down to my family. I wouldn't want that to be sold. I wouldn't want my lyrics to be used by somebody else. I mean, the fact of the matter is, if I was to write you a song, and that song got, let's say, 10 million hits, those are my lyrics, but that's also something that I dedicated my time to. And I'm not gonna turn my dedicated time and turn it into a profit when that money is only going to be temporarily there. But the lyrics and the dedication and time I put into that song and those lyrics are for a lifetime. You get what I say? So it's like,
yeah.
I personally would never do it.
So for him,
sometimes it's not about the money.
And for him, the thing is he's still young. And, we all know this. Artists really don't make their money they make the money off of what they wrote. But most artists make their money off of touring and merchandise. That's where the money is for an artist. When you get on these big tours and you're selling all your merchandise, that's where your money comes back to you. So Justin Bieber's like, okay, let me sell this music now for a quick 200 mil, but I'm going to be still able to tour around the world and make all this money from touring and marketing, because these girls are going to buy, he's got a whole genre of women that once they become in their 40s, Justin Bieber's going to be out there in his 40s like New Kids on the Block in New Edition, performing shows at, 40, 50 years old. And these women are going to be living their, their younger life going to see him. So I could kind of see where it's at. The fact is though that you sell your music off and now you have no say where your music is being used because they now have the rights as far as marketing.
And not to mention that can become a mistake in the long run, because you can regret that when you become older. You're going to be thinking, I don't have the rights to this anymore. I sold it. There's no going back from that. You can try to pay, but the holder of those lyrics will be like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't have to sell it back to you. That's going to be a mistake that can come and bite them back in the ass in the long run.
So DJ Boom, I'm actually going to bring this up. Viana Marie, if you're in the chat, Viana Marie, drop your thoughts on this in the chat about Justin Bieber. DJ Boom makes a good point, and this is what I was thinking too. He's getting out of the music industry and into something else. Mark my words. Now, here is the thing about what I've noticed with people who sell the rights to their music. The majority of people who are selling their rights are older, and they're getting ready to pass on. The Motley Crue, they're getting older. Justin Bieber in the last 3 years has had serious health problems. One would wonder, what is the real issue with Justin Bieber's health? Is there a reason with his health? Is that the reason why he put his publishing into? Because he's got no kids. He has no. He doesn't have any kids yet. He is married, but he doesn't have any kids yet. And for him, why let my wife deal with this? Let me sell this now and let me put that money towards her in case something happens to me. It's easier for her to handle the liquid assets versus my publishing, assets, which so one would wonder, is there an issue more deeper with his health, his mental health and his physical health? Because he's been battling a lot of issues in the last 3 to 5 years. Two of those reasons is one of the reasons why he hasn't put out a new album or toured. He actually canceled this tour because of his health issues. He suffered what some thought was a stroke. So that question is up there also. I got to see if Viana Marie put it in the chat yet. But yeah. DJ Boom said to tell you what's up, MusicMan, in the chat.
Shout out to DJ Boom. What's going on, man? Boom Squad Radio in the building.
Chris Gagney, what's going on? I see you watching in the chat. And again, Viana Marie, if you're still watching, drop your thoughts on Justin Bieber selling his music library for
Marie.
Yep, she's in there for $200 million. That's just crazy. It's crazy. So let's see. We're gonna keep our eyes on it. In the sports booth, people. Evan France passed away. He played for the Brockton Rocks. For those who knew who Evan France was, he was battling brain cancer while playing for the Brockton Rocks. They just released a statement and giving their prayers and blessings and thoughts to the Brockton Rocks fan to let them know that Evan France had passed away, losing his battle with brain cancer. So it's rest in peace, Evan. Our hearts and prayers and blessings go out to you and your family. Also in the sports booth, it's no big secret. If y'all been watching the booth, I've been telling you since Mac Jones got drafted. I already broke this down. I already told you that this was coming. Bill O'Brien is now the offensive coordinator of the Patriots for the 2023 season. And if you all are going to be coming around here and talking all this crap about Mac Jones and this and Mac Jones.
Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down. I told you all the problem was offensive coordinator, and I already broke it down to you 2 years ago. When Mac Jones was drafted, the year after, Bill O'Brien was supposed to come here from Alabama and be the offensive coordinator. But Nick Saban wanted to keep him one more year down in Alabama, which is why in April, when we talked about this on the show, when the press had already kind of knew that Bill O'Brien was supposed to come in, that's why the press had started pressuring Bill Belichick about an offensive coordinator and naming an offensive coordinator during training camp, because the press here in Boston, they had kind of heard the grumblings. They kind of heard about it, but nobody wanted to lose their jobs as beat writer and mention it and come out and say it at training camp back in April, May, and June. Everybody knew that Bill was going to be bringing Bill here because Bill was going to come here to get Mac Jones right, because he had already worked with Mac Jones in Alabama as his offensive coordinator there. They all knew that. Everybody knew that. And what happened was Nick Saban didn't want to release Bill to Belichick and said, I'll wait a season. So for one season, Bill played this game with Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, and he lost. He lost dearly. But at the same time, Matt Patricia ruined your quarterback, and Joe Judge, you lost his respect because he didn't help out because you made Matt Patricia that guy. And Mac Jones was just absolutely horrible. The entire offense was horrible this year. Why? Because Matt Patricia is a defensive coordinator. He's not an offensive coordinator, which is why this team stunk, which is why this team was at the bottom of the barrel statistically. It had nothing to do with Mac Jones and the play of Mac Jones and people talking about trading Mac Jones.
Sit down.
Sit down. Because now all you people who are talking about trading Mac Jones and stuff, when Bill O'Brien comes here next year and puts his offensive schemes into play, and Mac Jones jumps all the way back up into the talk of being a top echelon AFC quarterback, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do right now? I can tell you what you can do.
Stop doing that! Stop!
Stop doing that. Stop talking crap about Mac Jones, because next year when he has a real offensive coordinator here, and your wide receivers aren't bumping into each other because you got a defensive coordinator trying to scheme up offensive plays and not knowing how to scheme up routes. Come on, people. It's football. Football.
Using a defensive player on offense is out of his element.
Well, you know what? It works for some players, and he's special. He is a special player. Belichick did commend that, but Belichick did take responsibility for this offensive coordinator situation. And I love it. I love he did that, you know? And Michelle, I see you in there. Michelle said, period. Right. He had nobody, exactly, dyeing my hair watching you. Oh, you got to be the first person dying. So we'll see. We're going to see. We're going to see, because Bill O'Brien will be here next year, and this is going to be a totally different offense. As far as I'm concerned, if there's anybody that needs to be gone from this team, one of them is Cam Acord, the special teams coach. He can go. He can go.
Put him on.
Nelson Aguilar. Yep. Nelson Aguilar, wide receiver from the Eagles. Tyreek Hayes, my son, I love you dearly. I feel your pain. I feel Nelson Aguilar, for every one catch that he made that was good, he had 3 catches that was bad. Nelson Aguilar, you can go. Yeah, he can go. He can go bye-bye. He can go bye-bye.
He's throwing the surrender flag out.
3 minutes left of the show. Also in the news booth, Raynham Dog Park, which is down there on 138. They just had a big announcement today. Raynham Dog Park is set to become one of the country's largest sports booking facilities in the nation. So all these Caesar sports betting ads that you're seeing on television, they're going to be located right here. They're going to have a betting facility here in Massachusetts at the site of the old Raynham Dog Track on 138. If you guys don't think that this is going to make money, this venue will probably also host events like fights, boxing, MMA. Oh man, the sky's the limit. Carney is smiling. Q up in the air tonight. And you know what? It's crazy. This past weekend was the NFL divisional round. The biggest news out of this was that the Cowboys lost again. The Cowboys lost again.
Just call it.
Oh man. And you know what?
And walk away.
Yep. And here's Stephen A. Smith letting Michael Irvin have it in hilarious fashion. If you guys remember, next Friday, peep Stephen A. Smith as Pinky on Michael Irvin after the Dallas loss on ESPN. Here we go.
I like what the defense did. The offense just didn't show up.
Shut up! Did you really think you was gonna escape me today?
But
shut up! What did I tell you was gonna happen? What did I tell you was gonna happen? Say another word, and this is over. And I ain't playing with you. You say it again. Say something again.
But
wow! Oh! Up! Up! Oh! 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 My! Oh! Oh! Don't say another word. Nothing. Before you do, I got a sword for you. Sing it with me, everybody. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. For y'all. What did you say, playmaker? La 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 la. We ready for y'all. First take in the house. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Oh, it's nice to see those guys be able to rib each other in a funny fashion. Dallas bowing out. And let me get the conference championships up here and talk to you guys because we're at 8 o'clock right now. These are the results of the weekend. This weekend is the conference championships. Kansas City Chiefs will be taking on the Bengals. Philadelphia Eagles, my son's team, will be taking on the Niners. I said on this show when I was talking with the Popeyes meme kid, Dennis Collin, I said the Niners are the most scariest team out of this whole chart. The Niners are scary. Brock Purdy, all them guys, George Kittle. It's a scary team, but that Eagles team is rolling. So this is going to be a dogfight. Kansas City and the Bengals, another dogfight. The Bengals knew where they were last year. They almost had Kansas City. And, we're going to see. The Bengals got past the Bills. The Bills were missing Von Miller. If you guys remember when Buffalo lost to Kansas City last year, they were missing Von Miller. That was the guy they needed to get up and get pressure on the quarterback, and they didn't have that. The Bills went and got Von Miller, but Von Miller was hurt. Without Von Miller, they don't beat Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo doesn't beat Kansas City. Kansas City goes on to the AFC Championship again. I think the Bengals are going to do it. Who you like? You watch football, though?
I do watch football. I used to be a big fan of the Patriots, but now I just watch it for like the entertainment of watching, seeing, who's going to go to the Super Bowl and just like having a good time with people.
And it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be a good set of games coming up here. I'm pretty excited. DJ Boom says Bengals in the chat. He says Bengals. Michelle says, I think the Bengals might go again. And she likes those Eagles.
The Bengals did a good job, I heard, this season coming up, and I think they're gonna do a good job.
They got a lot of weapons. Joe Burrow is the real deal, and we're at 8:02. I just gotta get ready to get this show out of here. Michelle says Rihanna, so excited for the Super Bowl. You don't have to tell me. My restraining order is in full effect. In the Biden bombshells. Classified documents have now been found at Vice President Mike Pence's house. I'm going to kind of table this hold off because I got my guys. First Tuesday's coming up. I'm going to table this story because I want to break this down because we said this. This was a witch hunt, you know, and when you start these witch hunts, it creates a snowball effect and rolls downhill because I feel that they all misplace documents and leave documents where they should be. So this is just going to get worse. I'm going to talk about this with my guys on First Tuesday. And another First Tuesday topic that I'm going to table, the Pentagon has now opened the door. They didn't deny it, but they didn't okay it yet. But the word is that the Pentagon in the U.S. is about to send M1 Abrams tanks to the Ukraine to help them in their fight against Russia. Now, as we all know, Russia, the tanks that they have over there right now in the Ukraine, they shouldn't even be out there. You bring M1 Abrams tanks, even if they're 3 years old, to the Ukraine to help them fight the Russian tanks. Oh man, I can't wait to talk to R Squared about this on First Tuesday. So I'm going to table this story and let you know what's going on. Peep my outro banner here. These are the people who support the show, wearing the beanies. Thank you very much. Also, the shows I produce right here. Check those shows out. Triple Threat Tuesday, Maddie C's coming up tonight. Happy Hour with Lido coming up tonight. Also on Thursdays, we've got Oscar Mike Radio. And then in third week of February, I believe we have the return of drafting the circuits. And like I said, there's going to be a big announcement. Should be next week on this show in regard to drafting the circuits. Also, Sofalar presents Sing, my man Sing, Tuesday, February 7th. I'll be on the air. I won't be able to go, but if you're not around, you want something to do on that night, even though you should be watching the booth, you want to check out Sofalar, Sing at 7:30 in Jamaica Plain, Boston. Also, don't forget the 90s Black History Skate Night, $10 admission, $5 skate rental. It's going to be up here at Carousel Family Fun Center on February 25th. And that's about it, man. David, let them know who you are and how they can find you one more time before we get out of here.
So I appreciate everyone for tuning in today at the booth. I go by the name of MusicMan. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And if you guys want to purchase a merchandise, go to musicmanrimerch.com today. Use my promo code 401RI for free shipping across the state and the country.
And that's about it, people. It's 8:05. Again, you all saw the promo. Vienna Marie will be performing March 18th at the Back to Basics Industry Night at the Jungle on March 18th. That promo will be running every week up until that event. And other than that, it's going to be, once again, it's going to be NFL football weekend for me. So hang out, do whatever. It's 8:06. SpongeBob, do me a favor and take us home.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, this don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com. WHOOBAZOO.com.